Some people like to call this bike the Honda Dullville, but I think it deserves a bit more respect.
But I genuinely love this bike.
It's just making a lot of noise, but just not going anywhere really. So I'm here with the owner of this bike, Luke Brackenbury. So you've been a motorbike journalist for, well, several decades now, I think. You've, not want to make you feel old, but yeah, Bike Magazine, Performance Bikes, contributor to MCN, basically any motorbike magazine going. You've ridden all sorts.
Yep.
Look on your Instagram feed, we'll put a link to that in the description. Seems to be you wheeling a lot of stuff from, you know, going back to...
I've got terrible clutch control, that's why.
But good
like,
wheeling, yeah, I know, it just happens,
Yeah.
But anyway, you've ridden everything pretty hard as well, and yet the bike you buy is, of, I think, £500, was it? £600, sorry,
don't cheapen it.
Yeah, no, don't cheapen it. Honda Deauville as well, or Cruella Deauville. Very good.
Yeah.
But why? Why ride all that stuff and come to the conclusion that what I need is one of these?
Well, there's no one bike that does it all, Matt. So I need different bikes for different purposes, and I needed a two-wheel car. I'm a really impatient person. I hate driving, and if I need to get to places for work, I want to get there on time, and I want to do it fairly comfortable. I don't have to be massively excited while I ride somewhere. So yeah, I've had what I call two-wheel cars before. So I have a CB500, but I thought I want to get this. I looked at CB500Fs and X's, and different things, and a few years ago I did a charity ride, Land's End to John O'Groats, part of the longest day challenge, where you go from Land's End to John O'Groats to raise as much money as you can for cancer research. I've done it twice, well, one time and 2/3, and it's a brilliant cause. And the bikes have to be £600 or no more. And I'm still in the WhatsApp groups with the people, and one of the fellas was selling this £600. I was like, do you know what? I'll have a bit of that because of what I need from something. And I know that most of the bikes from the challenge, they look pretty scruffy, but they're usually mechanically sound. And this guy was a car mechanic, and worked on his own bikes all his life. So I knew it mechanically be sound. The money was good. It came with a whole host of spares, basically a bike and a half spares, which I promptly got rid of most of them and kept the things I thought I'd need.
Oh, interesting. How much did you get for the spares?
I don't really want to go into that.
Well, I'm just trying to work out.
But the main thing was,
what I'm trying to work out is how much this bike effectively cost you, because if you got some spares.
Yeah, the cost of the spares got me an updated regulator rectifier, which on these things they'll chew through, and paid for the fuel to go there and back. So it wasn't a lot of money because there's plenty of these about and a lot of spares, but I cherry picked things like the rear wheel with a decent tyre, the pannier handles, mirrors, all the stuff that it would get if it dropped over. But yeah, if you look at prices for spares for these, they're nothing. I just didn't want a load of stuff, and I basically didn't have to unload the van. I sold them straight away. So, so the bike doesn't really owe me a lot of money, but I've had to spend a bit of money. Fortunately, it came with some heated grips that weren't fitted. I had to get an adapter plate to put a top box on that I had existed. Even though it's got integrated panniers, I wanted more.
They're
more
not big, are they? So although they're quite cool, I really like that. That's probably my favourite thing about it, is the integrated panniers, but they're not big, are they?
No, on some trips I don't have the top box on at all, but if I take my kids on the back one at a time, it's good for them to lean against. It swallows up big helmets. So, but the rear shock was really soggy. So I invested what cost half the price of the bike in a YSS shock.
But who cares? Because now I'm guessing it rides.
Oh God, so much better. Yeah, so much better. And then I stupidly put a Black Widow exhaust on it because it had a standard can, and I've with the old school Honda twins, put a shorter cans on. It pumps them up the mid range. It doesn't give you more horsepower, but it really opens them up. But it's just too loud. So I kind of ruined it a little bit by putting a cheap exhaust on.
Oh well, at least at least people hear you coming when you filter.
They can hear you coming.
So there's that. What are kind of the key features for you that really sold this bike, other than the fact obviously it was quite cheap?
Yeah, the cost was one thing, but it had to. I talked to the guy. He's in the group. I know it's done 1,000 miles in 24 hours. I know bearings, cables, all those sorts of consumables it's been over, and it's been built up from 2.5 bikes, I think. So all the good parts put together. So that I don't have to worry about that. On top of the fact it's a Honda that's shaft drive and all those things. And just like the LED spotlights, because old bikes, the lights aren't very powerful. These big LED lamps, nicely wired in. You've got the cubby hole in there. He's put a USB charger. The craziest thing is this desk lamp map reader,
I didn't
which
see
I
that.
love that.
How big are the cubby holes there?
Yeah, so you've got one
pretty decent
lockable.
actually,
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly.
Yeah.
One lockable one. Again, just convenient things. It's got like the hand guards, and so the amount of weather protection from this, and the optional leg guards. So in the winter when I was riding this, you know, especially with the heated grips on, and this is the summer screen. I've got 2 screens with it. I've got a really tall one. Like, so the weather protection is crazy. It's really good. So you don't mind riding it, and you also don't care a £600 bike about weather and salt and all that crap. You hose it down, ACF 50. So because something's cheap and you've not got so much money tied into it, it's weird. You go, well, I'm not going to care about it. I'm going to use it more. And then you end up loving it and you care about it more. And then you go, I will put a new shock on and I will do this. So, you know, it's got link brakes. They're not the best. It's not ABS. But I think it's comfortable. It's convenient. It's low maintenance. You know, I don't know. It's just funny. I just don't take myself too seriously. I don't need really cool bikes to prove to anybody or whatever. This is a tool.
But you say that, but it's got a bit of character to it as well. There are far more boring bikes from around that time, I would say. I think with like the integrated panniers, all the little cubby holes.
It's just practical, isn't it? When things are practical, people say they're boring, but for the job I need it to do, it's great. Yes, it's not very powerful, but I don't want to get. I've been banned before. I just want to like get comfortable. You know, it's pretty good on fuel still.
Is it? Oh, well, what sort of fuel economy do you get? Have you ever worked it out?
Yeah, I have actually, and I need to refer to this because I'm terrible with numbers. But you know, I run it on like all my bikes. I run it on super unleaded all the time. Let's have a look. Deauville. So got a lot of tanks. Okay, 56 to the gallon, 55, 48, 51, 55. You know, so it's doing that.
Is it in any way fun to ride? Can you get on the right road? Is it kind of one of those things where it's perversely a bit fun because it's kind of not really made for that sort of thing?
No, not in any way. You know, if you rag it, you know, it doesn't want to know about that in terms of the gearbox and the shaft drive. You're really thinking about what you're doing to it. So it's not like you can, I'll amuse myself and back it down the box. You don't want to be doing that. You know, no. The pervert thing is, it's fun in the fact that you're riding something that owes me now less than £1,000, and it gets me to where I want to be, no slower than anything else, comfortable, and I'm pretty chilled about parking at airports or car parks or anywhere, and that's quite.
Or leaving it up north for several weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
Yeah, forgot.
So yeah, because what you do is, as well as being a journalist, you do kind of logistics stuff, don't you, for manufacturers? So you do a lot of stuff with MotoGP,
yeah,
which involves going up there, bringing down like a Vogue or a Morbidelli, and then just leaving this poor thing.
That makes me sound like a courier, but yeah, no,
You're a very prestige, like a top end courier.
No, it's not that at all. But yeah, I move bikes around in a way because I'm, you know, people like yourself might be going to ride it, so I get to ride a lot of different bikes for lots of reasons. So yeah, if this sits somewhere for a long time, it's not a big stress. But I did miss it. You can get spoilt, as you all know, from new bikes with cornering ABS and cruise control and all those things. And I've put a really crude one of those Oxford paddle things for longer runs, so you can just rest your arm on it, the palm of your hand as a sort of cruise control. But I genuinely love this bike, and my youngest kid genuinely loves it. You know, and I can tell that the next job I'm going to refurb the wheels because they look terrible, and some new rear brake pads should arrive anytime soon, and you know, just keeping it running, because then you go, actually, it doesn't owe me a lot of money, and would I care if something happened to it? I actually would, because it's useful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you bond with it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly, because it's doing the job I want it to do, and it's not giving me any complaints. It just cracks on with it, and you go, it fires up every time. You know, it's doing all right. You know, miles to the gallon. It's cheap to insure. The right tax-wise. It's friendly enough.
Maybe I should buy one. I probably should at some point. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a go on this one and see what the fuss. Well, that's probably the wrong way. See why you love it so much, and see if just like a quick squirt on it can bring me around to the.
Like I said, it's in sports mode with the sports screen.
Sports mode, so I'm ready for some sportiness.
Yeah, and now we've jacked up the preload on the new YSS shock, so hopefully it's not dragging its feet on the floor like it was before.
So it's basically a Honda Deauville SP at this point.
It is, yeah, exactly that.
Right.
Exactly. I think you're going to enjoy it.
I think I'm going to go and ride it. It's a bit soggy, isn't it? So Luke's on my VFR, which as he is finding 100,000 miles. Funny enough, it's a bit squishy. So first time on. Oh God, just felt like it was going to go. Then it's quite top heavy. Very substantial feeling bike. Let's get my clutch feeling. Where are we? Here we are. Are we rolling? Yes, we are. Oh, I tell you what, clutch and gear shift action, delightful. How much of that is just because, yeah, Luke's probably a bit more fastidious of maintenance than I am is unclear, but oh yeah, I see what you mean about the volume. Yeah, it's now quite firm at the rear, he was telling me, with the new shock. So it's a bit of a weird mix at the moment. You've got the front end, quite soft, rear end, quite firm. Right, there we go. Let's we'll stick it in. I think we're in second, aren't we? Oh yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, really not quick. And I bounced me out the seat then. Yeah, although yeah, Luke was earlier waxing lyrical about the wind protection. For me at my height, not so great, but this is the summer sports screen. He does have an extended one, so I guess, yeah, I'm a bit taller than him as well, which won't help. So yeah, I would kind of be, I guess he's pretty easy more like this. But everywhere else though, I just can't feel anything. There we go, fendon wobbliness. It turns alright though. Really not quick at all. I mean, this is a 230 kilo bike, which has all about 55 horsepower. So the later ones, the 700s, they had 65, but you know, obviously still not masses. What? Okay, right, you was trying to avoid that wobbly bit. Fair enough. Slightly concerned about this. Oh God, yeah. It's such a weird fix because you got, yeah, stiff one end and not the other. So let's pop it into. Oh hello. Oh yeah. Pop it into fifth. This is what it's all about though, just kind of chugging away. I just kind of feel invincible, like I could just be this on it all day because I've got just so much bike around me. I can kind of imagine what it would be like if the rear was softened off a touch. Really nice riding position actually, I feel super comfortable, feels nice to my size, everything's, you know, easy reach. Looking forward ever so slightly, but let's see what the brakes do. The brakes do something, that's always good. Let's have the visor up for a second, we'll hear a bit more of this. It's just making a lot of noise, but just not going anywhere really. Yeah, not the most characterful V-twin in the world. I mean, you know, this engine was known for being a little bit like that. Quite nice on a rev match downshift though. Yeah, feels nice, pretty manoeuvrable actually.
What do you reckon to Corella?
Good, it's just kind of feel a bit invincible on it, don't you? It's just sort of, it's all around you, there's just so much of it. Yeah, I like it. I can see why you're quite happy to get on this and just ride 200 miles up north straight off the bat.
Don't rush it, it's just easy.
Yeah. Sounds good. Alright, here we go. Yeah, to paddle around and manoeuvre it, kind of thought it might feel like a bit of an oil tanker, but no, it does not. Oh, were you coming? Oh, going that way. Just nicely chugging along in my Deauville that costs £600. Well, not my Deauville, Luke's Deauville. Right, let's go for first here. Slow it right down while Luke's having a bit of fun. There we go. And that's 60. There you go. Gets there pretty quickly. The more you rev it, I see what Luke meant earlier. It just doesn't feel like it's really interested in entertaining it. The peak power on here, it revs till 9,000, but I think the peak power is quite a bit lower than that. You're kind of riding more of a torque on this anyway. Yeah, there you go. I just kind of, if it was me, I'd want a slightly bigger screen. Look at that. I mean, you get all the wind protection of this, because around like my hands and my knees, there is just nothing. Yeah, so on the Deauville, is it the Dullville? Well, you know what, it's not that exciting, but I think there's enough going on to make it interesting, and they're just sort of, I don't know, they are, well, why is that lifting up? Well, there is something lovable about a dependable bike like this. So yeah, maybe it's not very exciting, but this is definitely a bike that should be respected. The people who own these, I'm sure they love them, I'm sure they do like many miles on them. You know, there are plenty around that have done 6-figure mileages. Ow! I'm going to brake over this one because that looks, oh, that bounced me out the seat. That bounced me out the seat. I do like this though. You kind of get on it, you just don't want to get off, you just want to ride it to the end of the country. 48,000 miles, you know, it's probably barely run in for one of these. Yeah, definitely not something you're going to be carving up back lanes with, but yeah, it feels alright, you know, if you're on a big long commute home and you come up to some roundabouts and you want to take them a little bit quicker. It doesn't, you know, feel like a big, awful, heavy thing, it just, you know, feels a little bit chunky, but yeah, turns alright, feels alright. Not fast. For plodding around on, can't get better than that. So yeah, there you go. Do make sure you go and follow Luke for his adventures on this bike and other things, and other old tat that he's buying. Not this is tat, I think this is great. Subscribe to the channel if you like this video, and like the video as well if you like the video. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, bye.